Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving deep into anxiety in kids and teens.
Okay.
And we've got this article. And
Yeah.
honestly,
Yeah.
some of the stuff it's saying is like really surprising.
Yeah.
Like I always thought anxiety was just like everyday worries, but it's
No. It's way more than that.
more.
Yeah, this article makes that really clear.
Okay, so like,
It's really like a persistent fear or worry that like disrupts their lives.
okay.
Like actually
Yeah,
disrupts
so how do you know
Yeah.
if it's actually anxiety?
Well,
or just a phase?
That's the tricky part
Yeah.
because the signs can be so different.
Yeah. The article was saying
Like between little kids and
it's
teenagers.
totally different.
Yeah. Like what do you
So for like the younger ones,
Yeah.
think about like stomach aches,
Oh,
nightmares, avoiding stuff.
great.
You know, it's easy to think,
They're just being a kid.
yeah.
Yeah.
But with teenagers,
It might look more like mood swings.
okay.
Like withdrawing from friends,
Okay.
changes in like how much they eat or sleep.
Oh,
But-
so it's like they internalize it more
Yeah.
as they get older.
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of scary.
Yeah. And you know
What
what?
about like,
It can be subtle
yeah.
for sure.
The article mentions some like
Yeah.
really serious signs.
Right.
Like if they're like talking about,
Yeah, like hurting themselves
yeah.
or like acting out aggressively.
It's
Those are huge red flags.
scary.
Yeah, you don't want to
Yeah.
mess around with that.
So you got to get help.
Yeah, like right away.
Okay.
Professional help.
So what causes this anxiety in the first place? Like the article had.
It's a bunch of things.
Yeah.
It's not just one thing.
Like what are some of the...
It's like a mix of factors.
Okay.
Family history is a big one.
Okay.
So if a parent has anxiety, kids are more likely to have it. But then there's all the social pressures too,
Oh yeah, especially now with just
especially these days.
social media and everything.
Exactly. Like social media is
Yeah.
like a breeding ground for comparison
Yeah.
and like the need to look perfect.
Yeah. It's all fake.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
The article actually talked about a study
Oh, wow.
where they found that teenagers
Okay.
who spend more time on social media have higher levels of anxiety and depression.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not surprising.
No.
But it's crazy that they actually studied that.
Yeah. Well, it's good to
Yeah.
have the research, you know.
To back it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you've got all the pressure from school and grades. And it's like
It's a lot.
a constant evaluation.
Constant.
Yeah.
And then like bullying, social exclusion.
Yeah, that can be really,
That can be really hard.
especially when you're younger.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Especially for younger kids.
So it's just like genes, social pressures, individual experiences.
Yeah.
It's like no wonder kids are overwhelmed.
It's a lot.
Yeah. What I thought was really interesting is
Uh-huh.
the article talked about the impact of anxiety.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's not just in their heads.
Right.
Right. It's like a physical thing.
Yeah, it's like physical.
Yeah.
Like it manifests physically.
So like what does that look like?
Yeah, well, one of the things the article highlighted was
Okay.
that there are very real physical effects,
Okay.
like sleep problems, headaches,
Okay.
even like digestive issues.
Wow.
It's like their bodies are
That's wild.
mirroring the stress they feel inside.
That sounds exhausting.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
So if you're a parent
Yeah,
or a caregiver,
Right.
like what can you actually do to help?
right.
Because the article seemed to emphasize like creating a supportive environment.
Yeah, but that's like the foundation.
Does that mean?
It's not just about being nice.
Right.
It's about actually like
Like what do you actually do?
listening to them.
Okay.
Letting them know their feelings are valid.
Okay.
Like not dismissing their fears.
Yeah.
Imagine if you were a kid
Mm-hmm.
and you're telling your parents that you're worried
Yeah.
and they just brushed you off.
That would be terrible.
Right? It'd be so frustrating.
Yeah.
So it's about like creating a space where they feel safe to.
So they feel safe.
Yeah.
Okay, but sometimes even with all the support, they need professional help, right?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like sometimes
Is
it's.
it too much?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the article talks about therapies like CBT,
Okay.
which is cognitive behavioral therapy.
Okay.
And it's really helpful for anxiety
Okay.
because it teaches kids how to like recognize and change.
So they understand why they're anxious.
Yeah, it's about like
Right.
understanding those thought patterns and like how to shift them.
Okay. So instead of like making it go away,
Exactly.
You give
it's
them-
like you learn a new skill.
yeah, like tools.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
Like
sometimes
coping mechanisms.
and then sometimes medication is necessary.
Okay.
But that's something to talk to like a doctor or a therapist about.
Okay, so it's like finding the right thing for that kid.
Exactly.
But what I thought was interesting too is the article talked about like working with schools. So it's not just a home issue. It's like everyone
It takes a village.
needs to be involved.
Yeah.
Like how can schools help?
Well, teachers and school counselors can make a huge difference.
Right.
Like they can help create a more understanding environment.
Yeah.
You know, maybe give them extra time on assignments or even just like a quiet space for a student who's feeling overwhelmed.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's about recognizing that.
Okay.
Anxiety can be like a real barrier to learning.
Yeah.
And you got to work with it.
Okay.
You know, you got to accommodate that.
Yeah, and it's not their fault.
No.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And, you know, we were talking about creating a supportive environment at home.
Mm-hmm.
The article goes into some more specific things
Okay.
that parents and caregivers can do
Okay.
that are beyond just talking.
Like what?
One of the biggest things is a solid routine,
Okay.
you know, consistent bedtimes, meal times,
Oh, that makes sense.
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It sounds simple, but it can really help.
Like if you know what's coming,
Yeah, that predictability.
it's less scary.
Yeah, it can be really grounding for kids with anxiety.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And then the article also talks about encouraging physical activity.
Oh, yeah.
Even just like getting outside a little bit
Okay.
can make a difference.
Cool.
And then teaching relaxation techniques.
Okay.
We'll delve into that more in the next part of the deep dive.
I'm looking forward to that. So we talked about like recognizing the signs of anxiety,
Right.
understanding like what causes it,
Yeah.
creating a supportive environment. Like how can we give kids tools to manage their anxiety themselves?
That's what we're going to explore next.
Okay.
The article has some really interesting suggestions.
Oh,
about that.
so I can't wait.
Yeah.
So for everyone listening, stay tuned as we continue our deep dive into anxiety in children and teens.
Awesome.
We'll be right back.
Sounds good. So before the break, we were talking about how parents and caregivers can create a supportive environment at home.
Yeah.
And one thing that really stuck out to me from the article
Okay.
was that it's not just about like good intentions.
Yeah, like you can want to be supportive,
Right.
but if you don't do anything, it doesn't really help.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's got to be.
Actions speak louder than words.
Yes, exactly. It's about actionable strategies.
So give me an example.
Okay, like having regular family meals together. It sounds basic.
Yeah.
But like in today's world,
Everyone's so busy.
everyone's so busy.
Yeah.
Like those shared moments of connection
Yeah.
can really make a difference,
Especially for an anxious kid.
especially for a kid who's feeling anxious.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's like that little bit of stability and predictability that they can count on.
It's like a safe haven,
Yeah.
you know, in the middle of all the chaos.
I like that.
Yeah.
The safe haven.
And along those lines,
Okay.
the article also suggests like a consistent bedtime routine,
Okay.
having a set time to wind down,
Okay.
maybe reading a book together or just chatting about the day.
Okay.
You know, it helps signal to the body and mind
Like it's time to relax.
that it's time to relax.
Yeah. So those are some good practical tips for parents. But what about the kids themselves? Like,
Right.
how can they
Like, what can they do?
manage their own anxiety?
Yeah.
Because the article mentions some stuff that I was like really surprised by.
I think you're talking about mindfulness.
Yeah. Is that what they're talking about? Okay.
It's become really popular.
Yeah. But I don't really get it.
Yeah. A lot of people
To be honest,
don't really understand what it is.
it sounds kind of woo-woo to me.
I get it.
Yeah.
But it's actually very simple
Okay.
and practical. Okay. At its core, mindfulness is just like
Okay.
paying attention to the present moment
Okay.
without judgment.
So you're not like freaking out
Yeah.
about the past or the future.
Right. It's
They're just like in the moment.
hitting the pause button
Okay.
on all those like racing thoughts and worries.
Okay. That sounds nice.
Yeah.
How do you do that though?
Well, there are tons of ways to practice mindfulness.
Okay.
Like you can do a guided meditation.
Okay.
You can find those online or through apps.
Okay.
Or even just like take a few minutes to focus on your breath.
Okay. Like just breathe.
Yeah, just breathe. Like really pay attention to it.
Okay.
And that can actually help with anxiety.
Really?
Yeah, there's a growing body of research showing that
Bro.
mindfulness can be incredibly effective
Okay.
in reducing anxiety, especially in kids and teens.
So it's not just for adults?
No, it can be
Yeah.
really helpful for kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's like teaching them to,
It helps them develop like self-awareness
yeah.
and learn to like regulate their emotions.
So they can calm themselves down?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's like a superpower.
It is a superpower.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And it's not just mindfulness.
Okay, what else?
The article also suggests other relaxation techniques.
Okay.
Like progressive muscle relaxation.
I've heard of that, but I don't really know what
Yeah, it's basically a technique where you like
okay.
systematically tense and release different muscle groups in your body.
So you're like clenching your fist.
Yeah, like you clench your fist.
And then relaxing it.
And then you relax it.
Okay. And you do that for like different parts of your body.
So it's like a physical way to get rid of the tension?
Yeah, it's like a physical way to release tension.
That's cool.
And it can be really helpful for kids who hold a lot of stress in their bodies.
Yeah, because it's not all just mental.
No, it's not all in their heads.
Right.
It manifests physically.
Yeah, so you got to deal with the physical stuff too.
You can even find like guided scripts online or in books.
Oh, cool.
Like walk you through the process.
So it's like step by step?
Yeah, it's like a step-by-step guide.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're giving them all these tools to deal with the anxiety, like right then and there in the moment.
Yeah.
But what about like the bigger picture? Like how do you build resilience over time?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And the article talks about that too. It talks about emotional resilience.
Okay.
Which is basically like the ability to bounce back from challenges and setbacks.
So like if they fail a test, they don't just give up.
Right.
They're like, okay, I'm going to...
They use it as a learning experience.
Try harder next time.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And the article suggests a few things that parents and educators can do to help kids develop that resilience.
What are they?
One is to focus on their strengths.
Oh.
You know, we often spend so much time trying to fix what we think is wrong with kids that we forget to like acknowledge and celebrate their unique talents and abilities.
Everyone needs that.
Yeah, everyone needs a cheerleader.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially kids.
Yeah.
And then another key is to teach them problem-solving skills.
Okay, so like how do we figure this out?
Yeah, like when they face a challenge, instead of just like giving up or getting overwhelmed, encourage them to like brainstorm solutions and come up with a plan of action.
So they feel like they have some control.
Yeah, it's about empowering them to take control of their own lives, even in small ways.
Yeah, little by little.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And then the article also emphasizes connection.
Okay.
Like having strong relationships with family and friends and other supportive adults can make a huge difference in a child's ability to cope.
Yeah, it's like knowing that you're not alone.
Yeah, exactly.
You have people you can turn to.
It's about knowing that you're not alone.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But I'm also curious about like how anxiety impacts a child's life.
Right.
Outside of the home, like at school or...
Right, like academically.
Yeah.
Anxiety can make it hard for kids to concentrate.
Yeah.
Participate in class.
Okay.
Even like complete assignments.
So it's not that they're like lazy or not motivated.
It's like a real barrier.
It's like they physically can't.
Yeah.
And then socially too.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Anxiety can lead to withdrawal, isolation, difficulty making and maintaining friendships.
Right. And it's like a vicious cycle.
Yeah, it's a vicious cycle.
Like the more anxious they get, the more they withdraw.
Yeah.
And then the more anxious they get.
Exactly.
So how do we break that cycle?
Well, communication is key.
Okay.
Like parents need to keep teachers informed about any challenges their child is facing. And they got to work together.
So it's a team effort.
Yes, team effort. To create accommodations or support systems.
So like what kind of accommodations?
Well, like maybe letting a student who gets really nervous about tests take them in a quieter environment.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Or giving them extra time to complete assignments if they have trouble focusing.
So recognizing that anxiety is like a disability.
Real disability.
Even though you can't see it.
Even if it's not visible.
Okay.
And then socially, the article suggests providing opportunities for kids to practice social skills. In safe and supportive settings.
So like what kind of settings?
Well, like maybe joining a club. Volunteering. Participating in structured activities where they can interact with others. In a more controlled environment.
So they're not just like thrown in the deep end.
Exactly. It's about helping them build confidence and feel more comfortable navigating social interactions.
Okay, cool. So we've talked about managing anxiety in the moment, building resilience, supporting kids academically and socially.
Yeah.
But what about preventing anxiety in the first place?
That's a great question.
Is that even possible?
That's what we're going to explore in the final part.
Okay.
of our deep dive.
The article offers some insightful suggestions for both individual and societal approaches.
Okay. To prevention.
I'm really interested to hear that.
Yeah.
Okay, so everyone listening, join us as we wrap up our deep dive.
Awesome.
Into anxiety in children and teens.
Sounds good.
So we talked about all the stuff individuals can do to help kids with anxiety.
Right.
But can we like zoom out to the bigger picture?
Absolutely.
Like, can we actually prevent anxiety in the first place?
That's the big question.
Yeah.
And the article talks about that.
Okay.
It says that we can't like completely eliminate anxiety.
Okay.
Because it's a normal human emotion.
Everyone gets anxious sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
But we can create environments that are less likely to trigger it.
Okay. So instead of expecting kids to just like adapt to this crazy world, we change the world.
We got to change the world.
Yeah.
Think about all the messages kids get these days.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
It's like, succeed at all costs.
Yeah.
Be perfect.
Yeah.
Compare yourself to everyone else.
And social media is like the worst for that.
Oh, yeah. Social media is a huge part of that.
Yeah.
It's like this constant evaluation.
It's like exhausting.
It is.
Yeah.
So the article talks about having open conversations about these pressures, both at home and at school.
So like parents and teachers talking to kids about
like we need to teach kids media literacy. Like how to critically evaluate what they see online.
So they know it's not real.
Right, because it's not always real life.
Yeah.
It's like a highlight reel.
Okay, so that's social media.
Right.
What about school itself? Because the article was kind of saying that our education system maybe needs to change.
It's a big idea.
Yeah.
But I think it's worth considering.
Okay.
Right now, there's so much emphasis on academic achievement.
Yeah.
Standardized testing.
Ugh, standardized tests.
Yeah.
I hated those.
Getting into the right college.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure.
It's a ton of pressure.
Yeah.
And it starts really young now. So the article is saying maybe we need to like broaden our definition of success.
Okay.
Not just focus on grades.
Yeah, what else?
But also things like emotional intelligence, creativity, those kinds of things.
So recognizing that kids are different.
Yeah.
And they're good at different things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And imagine if schools focus more on building essential life skills.
Okay.
Like communication, collaboration, problem solving.
Those are important.
Those are really important.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be better preparation for the real world?
Yeah.
Regardless of what career they choose.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's school. What about outside of school?
Yeah, the article also talks about things like our communities.
Okay.
And this part really resonated with me.
Okay.
It argues that we need to create more spaces where kids feel a sense of belonging, connection, safety.
So like where would that be?
Well, think about things like after-school programs, youth groups, even just like community gardens where they can interact with nature and each other.
Yeah.
It's about building that village.
That support system.
Yeah, that network of support.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But also the article talked about like bigger social issues.
Right. Anxiety doesn't exist in a vacuum.
Right.
Like poverty, discrimination, lack of access to resources.
Yeah. Those things definitely contribute.
They play a role too.
Yeah.
So addressing those bigger societal problems is essential.
Yeah.
If we really want to create a less anxiety-provoking world.
It's all connected.
It's all connected.
Yeah, mental health is connected to everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if we like zoom out even further, what we're really talking about is like a shift in values as a society.
And what kind of values?
Well, what if we prioritized well-being over achievement?
Instead of always pushing kids to be the best.
Exactly. What if we prioritized connection over competition?
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if we created a culture where it was okay to struggle, to ask for help, to not be perfect?
Yeah.
I mean, that would be amazing.
It would, but it also feels kind of impossible.
I know. It's a big vision.
Like, how do we even start?
Well, it starts with awareness.
Okay.
The more we talk about these issues, the more we normalize conversations about mental health, the more we challenge the stigma, the better off we'll be.
So just talking about it is helpful.
Yeah, just talking about it.
Okay.
Like having those conversations.
But at home?
Yeah. Home.
At school?
At school.
With friends?
With friends, with family.
Yeah.
And it's about advocating for change.
Okay.
Like supporting organizations that are working to improve mental health services for young people.
Okay.
Voting for policies that promote well-being and equity. Speaking up when you see injustice or inequality.
So we all have a part to play.
We all have a part to play.
Yeah.
It all makes a difference.
I like that.
Yeah.
It makes me feel hopeful.
It should.
Yeah.
Because we can make a difference.
Yeah, we don't have to just sit here and let kids suffer.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
So I think this deep dive has been really helpful.
It has.
We went from like the very personal experience of anxiety all the way out to these big societal questions.
Yeah, it's bigger than just one kid.
It's a big issue.
Yeah.
But the article gives us hope that change is possible.
And that's what I'm taking away from it, too. Like, it doesn't have to be this way.
No.
Anxiety doesn't have to define a kid's life.
Right.
If we're all aware of it and we all try to make things better.
And we support each other.
Yeah, then kids can actually thrive.
Kids can thrive.
Yeah, not just survive.
Exactly.
I love that.
Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
This was awesome.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Until next time.